Bryan Benson, Salt Lake City, Utah. And so, yeah, we decided to do a pirate island this year. And the whole idea started with a wrecked pirate ship and turned into all of this. We've got a couple things that move starting down here. We've got a squid that comes in and out very, very slowly. Had some gearing challenges there. And then we've got the sharks that swim around the wreck all day long. There's a pirate down there that's meeting his fate as we speak. And then, I mean, obviously the detail in the coral. So my wife does plant work. She does a very good job, as you can see here. So she did all of that painstakingly, and there's some creative uses of pieces in there. Those are the turbines that are at Lego stores right now, and purple, and lots of hair actually, and then the Aztec weapons there from the CMF line. So, and then we're big Disney fans, so we like to hide Disney things all around. We've got Sebastian, Flounder, Little Mermaids in the back, and just lots of vegetation and animals. We love critters.
Yeah, that's what I love about underwater builds, is just how colorful it is and all of the little details that you can put in there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's time consuming, right? Because you try as best as you can to make things look unique instead of rebuilding. So you get something that's cool, you do one or two, and then you have to make something else that's cool and repeat, you know?
Even just the variety of fish colors now that Lego has, that adds so much to it.
Yeah, I actually, I mean, you don't think about it in like a coral scene, but the black fish, right, is just amazing. There aren't very many of them, so I'm glad I have a couple. Hopefully they stay there through the whole con.
And then the broken ship is also a fantastic part of this model here.
Yeah, thank you. So we actually built the ship completely, and then tore it in half, and gave it the look as if the wood is splintered, and Batman's hiding down in the ship. Mermaid Batman's down in there. So
that's his bat cave now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's trying to stay away from the sharks.
But yeah, it's very authentic then when you build it as one model and then just actually break it in half.
Yeah, exactly. And I am not a shipbuilder at all. This is loosely based on a Lego set, and I tried to piratize it. It's actually a colonial. So then changed, the back end up a little bit. But first time doing a ship, and then I just tore it in half.
Awesome. Well, let's move towards the shoreline here then. I love the way you did the water here as it kind of comes into the sand.
Yeah, thanks. So we tried to take that throughout the whole mock and add the transition, like you said, the water kind of getting lighter, and then floating the water throughout was really fun to do. There's no supports under there, so it makes it a little nerve-wracking to travel with, but it looks pretty cool, and you can do more plant work under the water. So.
And then as we get to the beach, what do we have happening here?
Just a ton of storylines. So, I mean, Lego's all about the story, right? So I work for them on and off throughout the year, and so I try and keep with that. So over where he's filming now, we've got just, a pirate party. There's like a fish fry going on, and we've also got the pirates bringing in their haul out of the water there. And then there's probably not a lot of kid pirates in the world, but we've got a child pirate bearing a buddy and building sandcastles. And then, the CMF turtle. If you got a beach scene, you got to get turtles in there. So we've got some hatching there and crawling their way to the ocean.
That's so neat. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, using the dinosaur eggs hatching open, I might be taking some liberties, but I think we get the idea.
And then here we've got some nice vegetation behind that.
Yeah, so again, my wife and her plant work is really next level. I wish I could do that. My brain doesn't work that way, but we tried to use the vegetation all throughout to, again, hide story details. So, the monkeys that are up to no good, they're kind of collecting their loot in there, and then they don't know it, but there's a panther behind a rock and vegetation, and he's hungry, so we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, the pirate running away. If I fell a tree and there was a panther, I'd probably be running too.
What's happening in the cage here?
Yeah, so I mean, there's another child pirate poking the blue coat in the back of the head and trying to make sure he doesn't get too comfortable on this vacation, so to speak. And one of the details I really liked up on the shoreline is the cannon, making it look like the cannon has smoothed out the sand. by doing the greebling right up to it, and then the pirates putting it in place for protection.
Yeah, so it's like they pulled it ashore there.
Yeah, that was the idea. Whether anybody else sees it that way, that's how my brain sees it.
No, I can totally see it. It's those little details like that that really make the build. And even if maybe most people don't notice them, it's there.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoy the hidden things I put in there that nobody will ever notice. They just go by too quick, aren't looking for details. Like Cody, right? We've got the convention, one of the convention owners in there as his pirate minifig building Lego. So it looks a little out of place, but that's one of those details that means something to the people who know.
He's just surrounded by pieces there. That's great.
Yeah, I mean that's how his Lego room looks too. a couple thousand more bricks than that, but that's the Lego room.
And then we start to get some elevation towards the back of the build.
Yeah, I tried to. It's always good when you can raise it, right? I don't have enough brick to raise it without using slope, but it really separates the scenes, right? So you can kind of see different things going on. We've got the cook up there that's getting all the pirate dinner ready. Lots of monkeys getting into mischief here. That one's stealing some food, and then the chef's caught him, but just up above the chef is another monkey throwing a pineapple at the chef. So, trying to help his buddy get some loot back.
It's a strategic effort from the monkeys.
Yeah, they've got to coordinate. I mean, that's how they got all the loot before the panther gets them.
I love the use of the wooden pieces for tables.
Yeah, thanks. Those are too delicate. They're constantly falling, but it turned out pretty good. I think if I were to have more time before the con, I would have, made it so I could stick plates down and things like that. But, they're pirates. They don't need plates or napkins or any of that. They just use their hands.
And then what's at the very top of the hill? Is that the pirate captain?
Yeah, so it goes up into the captain's quarters, so to speak, and there's really fun details in there as well. If you look on the pirate's nightstand there, we actually have a photo of Susan from Lego Masters Season 2, that scene where she's biting the brick and spitting it out. I'm gonna call her out. That's a photo of her on the captain's.
It's become a meme now. You've got to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've got T-shirts. Once it's a T-shirt, you've made it for sure.
Yeah, so many fun details here. Another thing I love is that did you brick build a lot of these trees here?
Yep, so all of the trees are brick built. We've used the trees in the back that use the brown cheese slope in the past, and the banana trees they're fun. They're super fragile. I have to take those all down when I travel, but all the other ones kind of follow the Barracuda Bay build. Basically, it just multiplied by a lot. There's a lot of trees in here, and we even used Kakamora, the coconut pirates from Moana, in the trees. So if the kids look closely, they'll see those up in there.
And then at the very back of the build, we've got a nice water feature with some movement going down at the bottom of the waterfall.
Yeah, this is kind of the last piece of movement, and the moving waterfall was probably not overly hard, I guess, compared to just the greebling of the water to make it look like it's got that flow. It took me a surprisingly long time to do that, and less to do just the belt with the water falling on it. But I like the way that the splashing water turned out at the bottom, and just kind of had this hidden grotto over here because I didn't want the Disney themes down here to take away from the rest of the mock. So we tried to make it, secluded and have the Lost Boys, coveting the pirates' loot up here. And
still something for kids and people to pick out, though.
Yeah, exactly. Those little teeny things. Most people aren't going to notice that pig drinking from the water, but if the right kid's going to notice it, get home, be like, "Oh, what do you mean, brother? You didn't see that? I saw that."
And then even along the side, you've got details here as well.
Yeah, so what we decided to do along the front, and this is classic pirate people are going to get it, but these are actually not my creations. These are the skulls that have been in classic Lego sets, pirate sets over the years. So these two on the end are both from the 3-in-1 Creator pirate set with the roller coaster. And then these ones down here are kind of the old school ones, and just tried to give that nod to, the classics. What so many of the people around our age, this is what got them, right? Pirates or City, right? And now they're, now we're paying homage, right? So.
No, I love that. It's a great kind of throwback thing, and that's something for the adults then to get as well. So the whole build is fantastic. What was bringing this to the show like? How did you get this all set up?
Slowly. So normally when I take bigger mocks like this, it doesn't take quite as much setup. I found that having the gears certainly adds a lot of complication. Building so you can change the batteries out, and then building small enough to box it up without needing help and things like that. The other struggle is when you have foliage that's this dense, it's easy to build it in place, but once you have to move it, the leaves catch on each other, and you spend hours going back and fixing the plants that fell along the plate lines, right? So that was probably the hardest part. And then just babysitting it all day, right? Making sure the batteries are changed and that a gear hasn't slipped, and then just hanging out and talking with AFOLs, right?
Right. No, that's super fun part of it. And I do have to point out, we've had a bit of an incident behind the weapons catch over here as well.
Yeah, that's some bad things are happening, but it's a pirate island, so it can't all be, kids burying their buddy in the sand. My wife, actually, a couple years ago, I built a lighthouse, and I wanted to have a shark that had taken away an individual. So she talked me out of it. So this year we have a shark that has torn the legs off of a pirate in the water. And then, as she points out, there's a murder up on the sand there.
Yeah. So many fun elements here. I'm sure this is fun for you to set up with just all the different scenes and everything going on in there. And I'm sure the public has had a great reaction. What have people said as they've walked up to this?
I think really it's about the detail. Everybody comments on the detail. The greebling in the sand was kind of a if I had time thing, right? The con rapidly approaches. If I have time, I will do that level of greebling. And then it just became, it has to have it, right? So between the greebling, the detail in the plants, how many trees there are, and then the detail in the stories, like I said, right? You want to have like a couple stories on every base plate for people to find. That's the fun part. That's the part I love is the creating the tale, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's the creative fun part of LEGO. So thank you so much for bringing this all out to the show, for all your effort here. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.